I think the foundation of your 2019 agency growth plan is clarity of goals, right? Brian Tracy, I'm a big fan of his. He's got some great training out there about goals and self-development. But one of the great quotes from one of his books was, "Success is goals, all else is commentary." So what that means to me is that all of the different things that you have going on in your life, the things that, bog you down, the things that, you wind up getting busy doing things. But if you don't have clarity and goals and like what it is that you're going to accomplish in the next 12, 24, 36 months, then you're stuck in commentary, which is another word for BS, right? You're getting busy with nonsense. So it's important. Anytime I have a slowdown in my life, a slowdown in my progress, I realize I've lost track of my goals and where I really want to go in a specific period of time. So I want to spend a little time kind of mapping out some goals. Really, I believe without goals, you're almost like a boat out at sea where there's no wind. And you're just kind of sitting there stagnant. There's no momentum. You're just kind of stalled out. But when you do spend the time to write down clear goals and put some mechanisms in place to hold yourself accountable, it's almost like you can create your own wind. You can create your momentum and really start to accelerate yourself into the direction that you intend. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have heard this Harvard study that was conducted back in 1979. Basically, they interviewed a group of graduates from Harvard, and they asked them, do you have goals and do you have plans for accomplishment of your goals? 84% of the graduates had no specific goals. So they were going to graduate and whatever happened, right? It was kind of like, we'll just go with the flow. 13 of them had goals, but they weren't written down. So it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but they didn't write down what it was that they were going to do. 3% had clear goals that were written down with a very specific plan to accomplish them. And here's the important part. That's why I'm sharing this case study with you. The result, the 13% of the class that had goals that weren't written down were earning as much as 2 times as much as the rest of the class. But even more important was the ones that had goals and had written down those goals and had a plan, like here's what I'm going to do in order to make it happen, were earning 10 times as much as all of the other Harvard graduates. And what I want to do is just reconvince you the importance of having goals and really the importance of writing those goals down and building that plan. And I know that you believe that because you're sitting on a planning webinar today. So the goal framework that's worked great for me and that I'm going to encourage you guys to embrace is, have your goals written down in a plan. You need at minimum a 1-year goal. So by the end of 2019, a quarterly goal, which is really more tangible, that you're like, okay, I can wrap my head around this quarter between January 1st and March. But really having that, and then a monthly goal. Like what is it that you're going to get done on a monthly, quarterly, and annual basis? And then more important is to make sure that you have a stopping point. Like where at the end of the month, you're going to stop and you're going to reflect. And then at the end of the quarter, you're going to stop and you're going to reflect. And at the end of the year, you're going to stop and you're going to reflect. This was a game changer for me because I would always set goals. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I would go through one of Brian Tracy's programs and I'd even write it down in the workbook. But then it would just kind of be set into the ether and, there were no teeth to it, right? But if you structure your world and your life and your business around, I'm going to set a goal and then I know at the end of the month, I'm going to pause and I'm going to look, did I accomplish the goal? If I did, let's celebrate that. If I didn't, let's kind of reflect what I do wrong, what could I have done differently, what activity did I fail to take? And when you can start to do that, you can develop one of the most important muscles that there are, in my opinion, is the ability, the muscle to set an intention, do the activity, and accomplish the desired outcome. And so this was a game changer for me. It was a game changer for my business partner, Dean, and that was really what enabled us to move forward. And so I really want to encourage you guys, follow this mechanism. I'm going to give you some tools to do this. And so I want you to get clear on the goal, right? Which is how much recurring monthly revenue are you going to have realistically by the end of the year? How much you're going to charge your clients on a monthly basis? And then how many clients will you need in order to be at that level by the end of 2019? And this might seem like basic stuff. It's like, come on, Josh, really? Is this what we're doing? Yeah. I mean, it's really that important. And I promise you there's more to today's session than just setting goals and writing them down on paper, but it's a critical first step. So I'm going to stop for a minute. This is going to be awkward on a live webinar like this, but I'm going to pause. I'm going to ask you to spend this time to work the math on this, because the tendency is, okay, yeah, that's a great exercise. I'll do that later today, or I'll do that next week, or I'll do that at the end of the year when I'm on vacation mode. And then you never get to that process, and you never actually map it out. So I just want you to answer these 3 questions. If you have the worksheet printed, fill it in. If you've got the document listed, type it into your doc. How much recurring revenue by the end of 2019? And then how many clients are you going to need in order to make that a reality? So, just as an example, if you're going to end the year at $35,000 and you're going to charge $1,000 per month, that means you need 35 clients. So pretty basic math. And then the other thing is I don't want you to do this now because this takes a little bit more time, but I've got a great worksheet that I put together. This is kind of the chassis that drives everything we do. It's our sales and retention tracking sheet. And ultimately what it does, it just is an Excel sheet broken down by month, and it helps you plot out how many clients you're going to sell each month, or what your target is, what the value of those clients is going to be, and what you might expect to be your churn rate. If you're just getting started, there's no anticipation for churn. If you've got 30, 40, 50 clients, you need to kind of factor in what's my churn going to be. And what this sheet does is it gives you the ability to set a goal for the year and then see by quarter what you would need to do in order to make it happen. And this tool is extremely powerful. So I'm sharing this with you guys. It's in your workbook. All you have to do, go back later, click that link, fill in the cells, and I promise you, if you start to track along on a monthly basis, here's how many clients I sold, here's how many clients I lost, my goal was to sell 5, I only sold 3, or my goal was to lose only 1 and we didn't lose any, you'll know, and this is the most important thing, you'll know what your target for the month is, you'll know whether you hit your target or not, and you'll know if you're making the right kind of progress to move you to the next level or not. So I really want you guys to commit to fill out that sheet and use it on a month-by-month basis. Just as an example, this is a game changer for Brian Kaskavashian. He's actually a good personal friend of mine. He runs G4 Marketing Group, which is a business that really focuses on roofing and remodeling contractors, providing marketing services. And he had a pretty solid business. It was like $50,000 per month. He built it up over several years, but he kind of stagnated there at $50,000 per month. It was like year after year after year, he kind of hit the same number. And, I was masterminding with him and we were talking about his business. And it was kind of like, why is it that your business, Josh, continues to move forward and mine is stagnated? And, it was about 3 years ago, the first time I unpacked this sales retention tracking sheet. And we did it for him, right? We put in his numbers, we put in his targets. And for the first time in a while, he had a specific target on a month-by-month basis that he was striving for, and and his team stopped at the end of each month, at the end of each quarter, to reflect, like, are we moving forward? Are we making things happen? And ever since he started using this, his business has just accelerated. Now, he's done a lot of other things. I'm not saying this is the only reason his business accelerated, but this, he says, is a big driver for him. And today, like as of 2018, his business did like $2 million, over $150,000 in monthly recurring. That's almost 3 times growth. As a function of really getting clear on where he's going to go and having those stopping points. So this is extremely powerful. I want to make sure that you guys tap into it. Well, I hope you found that information useful, that you can go back and implement in your digital marketing agency. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on really how to effectively grow your digital marketing agency, I'd like to invite you to go to sevenfigureagency.com/video. That's sevenfigureagency.com/video. There I outlined how we were able to grow our digital marketing agency from 0 to 7 figures in the first 2 years, and then to the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies the last 3 years in a row. Lots of ideas that you can implement to really accelerate the growth of your digital marketing agency. So I really encourage you, go ahead and head over there, opt in, it's completely free, and take a look at that video series. I'll look forward to talking with you soon.